After my third divorce, I kind of decided marriage wasn't important to me. The most important thing for me was to find a lifelong partner, someone that I could just live my life with, blah, blah, blah. So I would date with the intention of, maybe I don't get married again, but this is someone that I want to be with for the rest of my life. Another point to make is, for me, kids have never been like the end all be all. Like, it's not my dream to have kids, but I'm also not like anti kid. It's kind of, I would be okay if I had a kid. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so moving forward. When my fiance and I started dating, we both were saying that we didn't want to get married because he's also previously married. So we were kind of like, okay, like we're cool if we just are lifelong partners. And I had said, even though we're not going to get married, I'd still like to have an engagement ring just to kind of have some.
I usually get further along in the video than this, but the first thing that comes to my mind is, who is the sucker that would marry? Getting married a second time is not as crazy. But then you get divorced a second time and then get married a third time. The third dude is a sucker. Has to be a sucker. I would be red flags all over the place because she looks like she could be in her early 30s, maybe mid 30s or whatnot. And so for you to say you've been married 3 times, right? This is not even accounting. Now, obviously, you can meet somebody tomorrow and get married, right? But let's just reasonably say she did date all 3 of these men a reasonable amount of time. Let's just say 6 months to a year. That's before you even get married. So now I'm questioning, how long was each marriage, is my first question. And second, some people need to understand that it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be alone. Like, maybe there are some things that are just not clicking in the upper room that you have to figure out within yourself before bringing on a partner, which I don't even agree with the word lifelong partner. I'm a marriage kind of guy, husband and wife, but a lot of people like to live alternative lifestyles, and that's completely okay. We live in the United States of America. But for me, it's a little bit concerning if I was to ever date a chick and she says, oh, yeah, I've been married and divorced 3 times. 3 times. By the second time, I'm done. If I get married a second time and divorce, I'm done. But 3 times makes me question, is she really trolling?
Kind of, sense. I don't have it all, but something to just say that I am like committed, blah blah blah. So we started talking more, and I kind of brought up the story of my cousin who was living in California at the time. She got into a very bad water slide accident where her face kind of like fell off. And at the time, she's a lesbian, so at the time she was with her partner.
She's
This was
lesbian.
before California legalized gay marriage. And she had told us that even though they were like in a partnership or whatever, that her girlfriend or partner wasn't able to make any medical decisions, or receive medical information regarding my cousin after her accident. And for some reason, I guess certain states have different laws. So we were talking about that. I was like, oh, I should look into this, like what the laws are in North Carolina, what the laws are in Illinois, because this was when we were debating where we'd be living. And, it says that the only people that can make medical decisions for you, because in this instance, I was like thinking specifically a coma, or, if me and him had kids outside of being married and something happened during childbirth, like who's going to be making those decisions, blah, blah, blah. And like, unless you have a power of attorney, someone like my fiance, if we weren't getting married, they're like on the last, they're not even top 5. It goes like your adult children, if you have any, I think your parents, and then adult siblings, and then some other family members, and then that. But I was just thinking, why even mess with the whole power of attorney? Because like we had to make sure we would have it on our phones at all times, blah blah blah. So we based our decision getting married off of that, because we also decided, if we end up having kids, because there are a lot of different factors that could prevent us from having kids. So if we do end up having kids, it just made sense that, if things were to happen, either one of us can make medical decisions without having to wait for, say my family coming from out of state to come and make whatever decisions. Again, I don't know how any of that works. I don't know if things have changed, like if phone calls.
You shouldn't be basing your decision to get married to somebody off of a stupid hypothetical situation revolving a medical situation. You should make Jesus, I'm so upset that I can't even talk. You should be making, not even upset because it's your life, but you should be making a decision to get married because you genuinely have seen all parts of that person and decide that that's truly who you want to be with and that you're going to wake up and show up for every single day. That would be your reasoning to get married. The power of attorney, that to me was not a good enough excuse for you to basically sign your name, especially when it comes to the man. Now, I don't know his financial situation, but I've also, as much as I like marriage, there's also caveats to marriage when it comes to divorce. And so when you look at it from that type of perspective, there's no real genuine action word. Love is an action word there that would help support that you guys will stay together. And clearly she has a track record in which I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption, because we're speaking for the majority and not the minority. Majority of women are the ones that initiate divorce. She's the one that divorced all 3 of her past husbands every single time. So when you have somebody that has a track record like that, that could be very concerning. For me, if I was the man, that would be very concerning for me. Am I tripping? I wouldn't even, at that point, just stay single. Just stay single or find somebody that's willing to, I guess, agree with your alternative lifestyle of a life partner. But even then, at the beginning, she told me, well, I do want a ring. So you want certain things that kind of symbolizes a marriage, but you just don't want the actual legal title. And I am a firm believer that marriage is not legal. It should not be legal. It's biblical. But
And stuff like that. But that was kind of basically where we're like, okay, like it wouldn't necessarily hurt to get married again for either one of us. He's only been married once before, so not as many as me. But that's kind of the decision. And, we're happy with the decision for us. Again, like we said, marriage is not like the end all be all thing, but we decided we're going to do it. We're going to just go do it fully. And if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right, basically. So that is kind of like the reasons. And I didn't want to make my thing about my divorces and stuff like that, but I think I need to just lean into it. So just lean into the 3-time divorcee thing and been getting married for the 4th time, and hopefully that is my last time ever getting married, because for sure after that you can forget about me getting married or having kids if this doesn't work.
that's crazy, man. And it always takes 2 to make it work, but to be married a 4th time is crazy. Even the comments, I need to know how you like 4 separate men enough to marry them. She responded back, the first 3 I wasn't totally obsessed with. I was just more concerned about being in a relationship is crazy. I was just more concerned about being in a relationship is absolutely crazy. Now here's a funny comment. When you get married and the pastor speaks these words, "We are gathered here again today," is crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Would y'all get married after a 1st time, 2nd time? What about a 3rd time? Is she looking at this the right way, and is the man a sucker, and should he be evaluated for a mental, some type of mental evaluation for wanting to go through with this, or marrying a woman that has a track record of being divorced 3 times? Y'all let me know what y'all think. I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.